Just imagine, a day of utter normalcy. The world is in its usual rhythm. People are busy, some lost in the noise of the marketplace, some resting in the comfort of their homes, others drowning in the darkness of their sins. Then, without warning, a sound erupts. A sound that does not strike the ears but pierces the very soul. A vibration so terrifying it freezes the beating heart, halts the breath in the lungs, and turns the blood in the veins to ice. The foundations of the earth begin to shudder and fail. The sky tears apart like old, brittle parchment. Mountains, those ancient giants, are ripped from their roots and cast away. In an atmosphere of pure, unadulterated terror, a father cannot recognize his own son. Mothers, blinded by fear, cast their infants from their laps into the void. The air turns to a suffocating shroud of fire and smoke. The oceans rise in monstrous, devastating waves. Thick clouds of dust and debris swallow the light of the sun, and the very ground beneath your feet breaks into pieces, swirling through the air like scorched scraps of paper. The day of reckoning, the silence of the end. Everything has shattered into pieces. Destruction reigns everywhere. There is no protector, no escape. Time itself grinds to a halt. Breaths are frozen in lungs, and every living, breathing thing falls into a terrifying silence. There is no time to run, and no moment to recover. This is not an accident. This is not a war. This is the day that was promised long ago. It is the day of judgment. But before we descend into the horrific scenes of the end, it is vital to know the signs, the warnings. These are the cataclysmic events and occurrences that have already happened or are yet to come. They are the heralds. Only after their appearance will the hour strike. These signs of the resurrection, the two categories and the prophetic warning, are also known as the precursors of the hour. The signs of the resurrection are divided into two categories: Alamat-e-Sugra, the minor signs, and Alamat-e-Kubra, the major signs. Before we explore these signs, please subscribe to our channel to support us on this journey of authentic and researched knowledge. It is narrated by Hazrat Hudayfa ibn Yasid al-Ghifari, R.A., that one day, while we were discussing the Day of Judgment among ourselves, the Holy Prophet, PBUH, came toward us and asked, "What are you talking about?" The companions, R.A., replied, "We are mentioning the Day of Judgment, the 10 major signs, from darkness to deception." The Prophet, PBUH, then spoke, "Verily, the hour will not come until you witness 10 signs before it." Then he, PBUH, described these 10 signs in their order. Number 1, the smoke. A colossal shroud of smoke will emerge, covering the entire earth from the east to the west, remaining for 40 consecutive days. The emergence of Dajjal, the Antichrist. Dajjal will appear shortly before the resurrection. He will be powerful, a master deceiver, claiming to be God himself. He will perform false miracles to lead humanity astray, but those with true faith will remain protected from his malice. Dajjal will be one-eyed. He will emerge as a one-eyed tyrant, spreading corruption across the earth for 40 days. It is Jesus, A.S., who will descend and destroy Dajjal before the final hour. Then comes Dabbat al-Ard, the beast of the earth, a strange and extraordinary creature that will emerge from between Mount Safa and Marwa in Masjid al-Haram. Its mention is preserved in the Holy Quran. This mysterious creature will have a human face, camel-like feet, the neck of a horse, the head of a deer, and hands like a monkey. Finally, the sun rising from the west. Before the Day of Judgment, the sun will defy the laws of nature, rising not from the east, but from the west. The descent of Christ and the gathering fire, this has been described as a major sign of the resurrection, the descent of Jesus, son of Mary, A.S. Before the end of days, Allah will send Jesus, A.S., back to this world. He will return to the earth to defeat and slay Dajjal. Then the emergence of Gog and Magog, Yajooj and Majooj. These are two tribes from the lineage of Japheth, the son of Noah. They were tribes of great power but extreme wickedness, known only for looting and spreading corruption on earth. They were confined to a valley by Dhul-Qarnayn, who built a massive barrier so high it reached the peaks of the surrounding mountains. This wall was 60 yards thick, built to protect humanity from their tyranny. But when the resurrection nears and the time for Gog and Magog to emerge arrives, this wall will crumble. Next are the 6th, 7th, and 8th signs. The Prophet, PBUH, mentioned 3 massive landslides, Kasaf, one in the east, one in the west, and one in the Arabian Peninsula. The 10th sign is a great fire that will erupt from Yemen, surrounding the people and driving them toward the field of gathering, Maidane Mahshar. W.F. Ibn Malik narrates, "During the Battle of Tabuk, I visited the Prophet, PBUH, while he was in a leather tent. He said, 'Count 6 things before the hour strikes. These 6 events are certain to happen before the end. First, my death. For as long as I am among you, the hour will not come. Second, the conquest of Jerusalem. The hour will not arrive until Jerusalem is liberated by the hands of the believers. The spread of trials and the pride of shepherds. The third sign will be a widespread plague that will sweep through you like a deadly disease among sheep. The fourth sign is that wealth will become so abundant that if a man were given 100 dinars, he would look down upon it with contempt and remain dissatisfied. The fifth sign is a series of trials and mutual conflicts that will erupt with such intensity that no Arab home will remain untouched by their evil effects. The sixth sign is a truce that will occur between you and the Romans. But then, the Romans will break their oath and march against you under 80 banners, and under each banner, there will be 12,000 men." Hazrat Abu Hurairah, R.A., narrates that one day, while the Messenger of Allah, PBUH, was sitting with the people, a man came and asked, "O Messenger of Allah, when will the hour be?" The Prophet, PBUH, replied, "The one being questioned knows no more than the one asking. But I will tell you of its signs. One sign is when a slave girl gives birth to her mistress. This signifies a time of extreme disobedience, where children will treat their mothers with the same harshness and disrespect as a master treats a slave. Some scholars explain this as a time when many lands will be conquered, and through the complexities of war and lineage, children will be born who technically outrank their own mothers in status. Furthermore, he, PBUH, said, when the barefoot and naked people become the leaders of nations, that is a sign. And when you see humble shepherds who once walked barefoot competing with one another in building magnificent towering skyscrapers, know that the hour is near. The exact knowledge of when the hour will strike is among the 5 things that no one knows except Allah. The prophetic truth and the blast of the trumpet. The Messenger of Allah, PBUH, then recited this verse, "Verily, Allah alone possesses the knowledge of the hour. He sends down the rain and knows what is in the mother's wombs." In today's world, in the land of Arabia where there once stood only dry deserts, those very people who once herded camels and goats are now building magnificent skyscrapers and taking immense pride in them. This is exactly what the Prophet, PBUH, foretold nearly 1,400 years ago, a clear sign that the hour is drawing near. Once all the minor and major signs are fulfilled, the resurrection will commence, the beginning of the end. The hour will begin with the blowing of the trumpet, Sur. The Prophet, PBUH, said that among the 4 archangels, Angel Israfil, AS, already has the trumpet to his lips. His head is bowed, and his ears are strained, waiting for the command of Allah. The moment Allah gives the order, he will blow the trumpet, and the resurrection will ignite. According to the hadith in Sahih Muslim, this will occur on a Friday. People will be going about their daily business, completely occupied. Suddenly, from the east to the west, every single soul will hear a long, haunting sound that will slowly grow louder and louder. Its sheer intensity will, a great collapse and total annihilation, and a wave of terror and restlessness will spread through the masses. When the blast of the trumpet becomes as sharp as a thunderclap, people's eardrums will burst. Their blood will freeze, and death will seize them. Every person will collapse and die right where they stand. As the sound of the trumpet grows louder, the very system of the universe will disintegrate. The earth will shudder in a violent earthquake. Mountains will turn into dust and be blown away. Fires will ignite within the oceans. The sky will be torn asunder. The sun, the moon, and the stars will lose their light and go dark. All creation, humans, animals, birds, insects, jinn, and even the angels will perish. Finally, death itself will envelop everything. The angel of death, Malakul Maut, will surrender his soul to Allah the Almighty. Every single thing in this world will be annihilated. Only the essence of Allah will remain, he who has no partner. The Quran describes this scene. All that is on earth will perish, but will abide forever the face of thy Lord, full of majesty, bounty, and honor. Every creature on earth is destined to pass away, and only the majestic and exalted being of your Lord will remain. When the entire world is gone, Allah will roll up the 7 heavens in his right hand and the 7 earths in his left hand, and he will declare, the grand proclamation, and the second life. I am the king. Where are the tyrants? Where are the arrogant? There will be a long, profound silence. No one will be there to answer. Then Allah, the Almighty Himself, will declare, "To whom belongs the dominion today?" To Allah, the One, the Irresistible. After this, a vast period of time known only to Allah will pass in absolute stillness. Then, when Allah wills, He will recreate the heavens, the earth, and the angels. In this new world, there will be no sign of mountains, oceans, trees, or buildings. Instead, the earth will be a vast, white, level plain, pure and smooth, filled with the divine light of Allah. The rebirth of humanity. A special rain will descend from the heavens to bring humanity back to life. From the base of every human spine, the coccyx, the entire body will begin to reform and flesh will grow back over the bones. Then Angel Israfil, AS, will be commanded to blow the trumpet for the second time. At that moment, all of humanity will stand up, barefoot, naked, and uncircumcised, just as they were first created. The promise of Allah will be fulfilled, and you have come to us individually, just as we created you the first time. As described in the Holy Quran, does man think that we will not assemble his bones? Yes, indeed, we are able to reconstruct even his very fingertips. On this day, every individual must stand before the presence of Allah. The first to rise from his sacred resting place will be the leader of the prophets, the reason for creation, Muhammad, PBUH. Then Jesus, son of Mary, AS, the other prophets, the martyrs, the righteous, and the believers will rise from their graves. Finally, the wicked, the disbelievers, and the polytheists will be raised according to their deeds. The great gathering, terror, and distinction. Raised from their graves. The state of the disbelievers will be one of absolute terror and paralyzing dread. Their eyes will be fixed in a stony gaze, and their hearts will be trembling with fear. No one will come to their aid. The believers will also rise, each according to their faith and deeds. The martyrs, shuhada, will rise with their wounds still fresh and bleeding, the scent of which will be like musk. The pilgrims, hujjaj, will rise in their state of ihram, crying out, "Labaik Allahumma labaik." Here I am, O Allah, at your service. The moment a person rises, 2 angels will be appointed to lead them toward the field of gathering, Maidane. Upon reaching the field, a shattering proclamation will be made. Today, O you criminals, separate yourselves from the righteous. The division of humanity. Humanity will be split into groups. Those who worship the sun, the stars, the fire, or idols, those who worshipped graves, the hypocrites, and the true believers, all will be divided based on their actions. In the field of resurrection, people will be barefoot and naked. This place will be vast and terrifying. A state of extreme thirst and panic will grip the masses. The sun will descend to a distance of only 1 mile, raining down scorching fire. The very ground will be burning. Bodies will roast in the heat of the sun, and for as far as the eye can see, there will be no shade. People will be drenched in their own sweat, according to the weight of their sins. The long wait and the fountain of Kauthar, drenched in their own sweat. The day of resurrection will last for 50,000 years. For this immense span of time, people will stand in hunger, thirst, and agonizing heat. In their desperation, they will cry out to Allah, "O Allah, save us from this torment, even if you must send us to hell." At that moment, the Holy Prophet, PBUH, will be granted the fountain of Kauthar, Hawd al-Kauthar. Those who remain steadfast upon his sunnah will drink from its pure waters. This will be the first moment of peace amidst the terror. When the exhaustion of the long wait becomes unbearable, the Messenger of Allah, PBUH, will intercede, shafa'at, with Allah the Almighty, pleading for the reckoning to begin. After this, the reckoning begins. Allah the Almighty will commence the phase of questioning. The righteous will receive their book of deeds in their right hands, while the wicked will be given theirs in their left hands. First, the polytheists will be questioned, "Why did you associate partners with Allah?" They will try to deny it, but the angels appointed by Allah will testify against their actions. Then the deeds of the hypocrites, the believers, and all others will be scrutinized. The very first thing to be accounted for will be the prayer, salah. Whoever succeeds in their prayer will find success in all other deeds, but whoever fails in it will find failure in everything else. Then all actions will be weighed upon the scale, mizan. Their good deeds are heavy, they will find eternal success. Humanity will be divided into ranks, each group gathering under the banner of their respective prophet. Then comes the most terrifying trial, the crossing of Al-Sirat. Every soul must traverse this bridge, a path thinner than a strand of hair and sharper than the edge of a sword. Beneath it, the roaring fires of hell will be visible, a scene of unimaginable horror. On both sides of the bridge, there will be iron hooks and thorns, seizing and wounding those commanded by Allah. Hazrat Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, or narrates that the Messenger of Allah, PBUH, was asked about the nature of this bridge, the description of the bridge. The Prophet, PBUH, replied, "It is a slippery path filled with hooks and thorny protrusions like the desert thorn known as Sudan. The believers will cross it according to their deeds. Some like a flash of lightning, some like the blink of an eye, some like a bird in flight, some like galloping horses, and some like racing camels. Some will pass safely, some will escape but with wounds, and others will be scratched and ultimately plunge into the depths of hell." The journey across Al-Sirat is a distance of 15,000 years, 5,000 years to ascend, 5,000 years to descend, and 5,000 years to traverse its level edge. The prayer of the angels. The believers will cross with their light, nur, guiding them. As they race across like the wind or the fastest steeds, the angels will cry out, "Rabbi Salim, Rabbi Salim, O Lord, grant peace. O Lord, grant safety." Many Muslims will find salvation. Some will be injured, some will fall unconscious, and some will tumble face first into the abyss of hell. The bridge is suspended directly over hellfire, and the wicked will fall from it into the eternal flame. Then the Messenger of Allah, PBUH, will approach the gate of paradise, seeking news of his ummah. The mercy of Allah and the final gates. The Messenger of Allah, PBUH, will intercede for his followers. Those who have faith in their hearts, even as small as a grain of barley, will be taken out of hell and entered into paradise. After them, those with faith the size of a mustard seed or a tiny pinch will also be rescued from the flames. Finally, those who uttered, "La ilaha illallah, there is no God but Allah," even once in their entire lives, Allah, the Almighty, will personally take them out of hell and enter them into paradise. Once the believers have crossed the bridge of Al-Sirat and escaped hell, they will be halted at another bridge between paradise and hell. Here, they will settle, the divine settlement, the wrongs they committed against one another in the world. A profound manifestation of Allah's justice will be seen as He grants vengeance and restitution among the people. Whoever committed an injustice will have to pay the price on the field of resurrection. The Prophet, PBUH, said, "The rights of those entitled to them will surely be restored on the day of resurrection, to the point that even a hornless sheep will be given its revenge against a horned sheep. Once their hearts are purified and their debt settled, they will be permitted to enter paradise. And the leader of paradise will be Muhammad Mustafa, PBUH." The opening of the gates. The Prophet, PBUH, will arrive at the gate of paradise. It will be opened for him, and he will be the very first to enter. Only then will his ummah enter, following all other nations. The Messenger of Allah, PBUH, said, "On the day of judgment I will come to the gate of paradise and command that it be opened. The gatekeeper will ask, 'Who are you?' I will reply, 'I am Muhammad.' He will say, 'I was commanded not to open this gate for anyone before you.' Once the intercession is complete, the people of paradise will find their eternal homes, and the people of hell will reach their final destination, the final decree, eternity, and the warning, the death of death. Then, a voice will cry out to everyone, 'O people of paradise, come to the edge of paradise. O people of hell, come to the edge of hell.' Then, death itself will be brought forward in the form of a white ram, and will be commanded to be sacrificed. An eternal proclamation will echo, 'O people of paradise, for you is eternity, you shall never taste death again. And O people of hell, for you is eternity, you too shall never taste death again.' The resurrection is coming. There is no doubt or shadow of uncertainty. The day of judgment will be agonizing, difficult, heavy, and immensely long.